Okay, there we go.
Hi again. Just a thought. This gibbet isn't the original gibbet, although they say it is. I'm getting absolutely no psychometry from this whatsoever. And actually, in 1699, this original gibbet would have rotted away to nothing. So this is just a replacement post that they've put in to mark where the gibbet used to be.
Yeah, I've not seen any teams mention that before.
But yeah, there's no psychometry coming from this whatsoever. I will get in amongst the gibbet over this stupid fence.
Yeah, mind your bits as you go over.
Just see if I can pick up anything from the actual ground. Oh, I'm getting too old for this. So now I'm picking up a sort of a vibration shaking.
Mm-hmm. Well, legend,
foot.
if you can call it legend, it states that, as I said to you before we started filming the first time, supposedly, I'm not sure if it was just the skull or the whole body, was buried underneath there, and there was a stone placed on top of it as an unmarked grave.
But I'm not getting.
They were missing.
It's this half,
Mm.
and it's like this type of a vibration that I'm picking up from there.
Right.
So there is quite possibly human remains
Under there still.
under this gibbet.
Mm.
It's not. Yeah, I think it's just a skull. Come to me.
Well, the stone that was put there, as I said, to mark it as an unmarked grave, went missing years ago.
So under here,
There could still be remains.
there are remains. There's a skull, and there's a collection of bones. It's not a skeleton.
Just parts,
It's
yeah?
just bones that they've just chucked in. I'm assuming that they've just taken the thing down and it's fallen.
Yeah.
fell
Well, they left the
apart.
body here for 41 years,
Exactly.
so...
I'm also picking up blackness. It's like the body's been burnt, and it clearly wasn't ever burnt.
I'm not 100% certain how he was executed. I'm assuming hanging. Well, yeah, I suppose so, because at Wickham Market, where we come in, where the charity shop is called Gallow Hill. This bit here is Drag Arse Hill.
Yeah, Drag Arse Hill, so they dragged them down from the gallows
Mm.
and gibbeted them here.
Yeah, ironically, from what because I don't know the area too well, even though I've been here a while, from what I can tell, the actual murder was over in that direction,
Right.
over in Leverington. And this is the edges of Leverington, from what I can tell.
Yeah, so what they normally would have done was the gallows, or the pike, or what they called it years ago, would have been right on the outskirts of the village,
Yep.
so that it wasn't actually in the village parish boundaries of either village.
Which here would be, yeah.
So here would be the ideal place. This guy was coated in tar.
Tarred and feathered,
No,
possibly.
just tar.
Just tarred.
Why would you do that? I think he was coated in tar so that the body was preserved,
Yeah.
and wasn't eaten by carrion feeding birds and things, so that it would be here for a much longer time, hanging in the gibbet,
Mhm.
and not just a skeleton.
Right. Like a preservative.
Yeah, just like coated in
That's definitely a stark warning.
a what?
That's definitely a stark warning to anyone.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's what happened to this guy, and that's the only reason I can think of, because it looks like the whole body's black, so it's like it was been burnt.
Yeah.
And the only thing I could pick up a sort of that tar road type of. It's actually more like a ship You know, like the ship smell, the old
But they're
ship
coated on the outside of the boats
with the
to make
tar.
waterproof.
So I
Yeah.
can pick up that. So I think that they would have coated this guy in tar.
You got to think as well, Woodbridge isn't overly far.
Yeah.
It was originally the Viking settlement, and there is like the little dock area there, so
they would have had access to
so they've had access to it.
But that's what I think. And I'm picking up the blackness from below here as well. So even if his skull or his bones were there, there's also that blackness with them.
Yeah. I've got as I've said to you before, I've got the local historian looking into more detail for me, and he's not been able to find much, unfortunately. But that was one of the things I've asked him to see if he could find out where or if the body was taken. I just saw movement behind you. I'll have to check that on camera. I don't think it was. It may have been the branches, but.
Is anyone there?
Whoever it was taller than you, and you're what, 6 foot?
Yeah.
I would have said that was about 6'2".
I really don't like that area.
Hmm. But as I was saying, I've got Ray. I've asked him if he can find out at all if the body was left there and buried underneath, or if they actually buried it in consecrated ground or buried it elsewhere. Or
Wouldn't have been. Normally, they wouldn't have buried a body in consecrated ground that had been hung and gibbeted. Normally, they would bury that on the parish boundary as well.
right. So potentially somewhere around here, if not under the gibbet, he could have actually been buried.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not sure when they stopped using gibbets or why they stopped.
This was the last time ever, from what I've been able to find out.
Would be if they then knew that it was never going to be used again. That would explain why they'd left him here for 42 years,
Yeah.
just hanging in the gibbet. And it would have probably made sense to bury him underneath the gibbet at the foot of the gibbet, just to save carting him back up Dragar's Hill. So it would
For
make
what you've done, you haven't got the dignity of burial, sort of thing.
Yeah, yeah. So you're not buried in consecrated ground because you've sinned, and the ultimate sin is killing somebody.
Yeah.
So maybe. Well, I know there are bones up
Mm.
here, so I can feel it coming up. They're not. They're here behind. They're here.
Right.
So this.
Also, what you saying about that gibbet not being the original? It would make sense anyway, because that concrete you can see is relatively modern.
They wouldn't have had concrete in 1699.
No. But no, what I mean is,
Yeah.
like,
I know.
I wouldn't have said that was more than that. Concrete is in pretty good nick.
Yeah.
You know, it's not really.
It looks about 1950s.
Yeah, I was about to say that. I reckon it was about 50s or 60s.
I'm just going to see whether the gibbet goes through the concrete or it's on the concrete.
That actually looks like it's on it.
It's on the concrete.
From this side, it looks like it's actually
There is a hole for it, but it's actually, if
Yeah.
you put your hand into that gap,
That's above it.
it's above.
So does that give more proof that it isn't the original?
Yeah, there's no way that's the original. That would have rotted down.
Yeah.
And you can't pick up anything from it. The only way you can ever pick anything up is to just stand here.
You think this is what, 400 years ago?
Yeah.
I don't think oak, even oak outside, wouldn't have survived that long.
No, that's... I'm not sure what
So-
that is.
So unless before that was put in, that's had a reminder there. There's like a plaque there for pretty much generations. There's no saying then actually that this is the specific spot.
It probably would be the spot.
Right.
Because they would have probably known more or less where the spot
Roughly where it was. Yeah.
I think maybe the gibbet would have been slightly back,
Mm.
which is why I'm sort of
That would make
on
sense.
this side of it.
Yeah.
So maybe we should investigate from that side later rather than
Yep.
from the front.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's no way I'm just picking nothing from this. Maybe try to see if we can get any readings on a EMF meter.
Yep. Okay. Go over to the other camera for a minute.